Ding dee, back with another one. How are we doing, my kings and queens? And I've just come home from work, so I think half of you are used to me by now looking a scruff. So for anyone new to me watching this is who I am, so deal with it. Well, let's get on with the video, shall we?
So,
attachment styles. This one's a juicy one, guys, and you're going to learn a lot more about me as well, which I'm going to have to get comfortable with opening up and letting you know who I am. And I think it's important because if I'm transparent with you guys, I can help you better. Some of you are gonna understand me. Some of you can learn from the shit I've been through. So, and some of you may also have my attachment styles, so which we'll find out in this video. So anyway, there's 4 attachment styles. Okay, there's the secure one, which if that's you, then bang on, you lucky individual. Unfortunately, we can't all be secure, but chances are, if you are secure, you had a very secure upbringing as well, and yeah, good for you. I'm not going to get into explain what each of these are. I've got a lot of homework to do really before I start doing that. I know some stuff, but I don't know enough to really talk about it that much. But what I do know is my type, which we'll get on with in a minute. And second, there's anxious attachment style, which I dare say is quite needy, quite needs reassurance a lot. Probably get put off if they're not getting that assurance. Then there's the avoidance. There's the dismissive avoidance, which is a bit back off sort of thing. I'm not doing any of these very much justice, but I'm going to learn anyway, and then I can talk more about it. But the one I do know, because I've lived with a fucker, is the fearful avoidant, which, well, it's probably the most complicated out of the bunch. Probably the biggest pain in the arse from what I've gathered as well, out of all the attachment styles, which, typical, eh? But hey, it is what it is. It's probably the biggest headache for people in relationships with people with this type as well, because it is very, very, very confusing. It's a whirlwind. It's up, down, left, right. It's hot, cold, push, pull, you name it. It's all them things, and it's not intentional. Don't mean to do it, but it just kind of happens. And I'll explain more as the video progresses as well. Kind of like the thought process. So for anyone that's seen somebody who's a fearful avoidant, this will help you massively. Or if you've broken up with somebody who's a fearful avoidant, this will also help massively. And if you are a fearful, I don't have to stop. FA, we're calling them fucking FAs, right? I ain't saying fearful avoidant like many fucking times. In fact, I think that's what they call them anyway in these few videos I've watched anyway. So, FAs, we're going with that. And to kind of explain how it is, it's sort of like wanting desperately for that connection, that intimacy with somebody else, but running for the fucking hills when it comes along. I'm thinking, I can't do it. Something that's going to go tits up. Either they're going to abandon me, or in more recent years, it's a fear that I'm going to really hurt them. And especially if I really care about the person. I did this earlier this year. I was seeing somebody. Going very well, lovely lass, like personality wise, not one fault at all. She's very, very good to me as well, very sweet person. And me being me, and understanding this before I had a name for the dickhead syndrome I thought it was. I just thought I was a dick, but no, it's this. I'm an FA. So my thought process was, oh, she's really nice. Oh shit, I know how this one's going to pan out. And I thought about her and I thought, I really care about her. I'm going to destroy her. I'm going to send her head to shit. And I thought, she deserves better than that. And that anxiety, fucking hell, I was battling with it for days and days and days. And it got really tough. And she probably sensed that I was pulling away. And I was. And I know I was. Because I was battling this thing in my head. Telling me to leave her. And that, I'm not good for her. Which was right. I wouldn't have been good for her. So the best thing I could have done was tell her, you need to go now and don't look back, because you need to run for the fucking hills, because I'm going to destroy your life. Now, I could be very good at seeming like I'm a wonderful, pleasant individual, and sometimes I am. I don't always. It's always good intentions. That's what I'm trying to say. And I think I look back throughout all my relationships and think I always had good intentions and I always meant well, but the outcome vastly different sometimes. I have broke some fucking hearts, and it's still to this day, it never sits right with me. I can look back at a lot of relationships, a lot of people that I've hurt, and it's not fun. I don't enjoy hurting people, and that kind of adds more to the avoidance side, I think, as well, because I don't want to hurt anyone, but ultimately I'm gonna, yeah. And it's kind of like walking a tightrope, and you could fall one way or the other in a relationship with somebody with fearful avoidance, because there's the anxiety side of kind of like the anxious avoidant, you need that sort of reassurance, otherwise it's like, whoa, I ain't getting fucking hurt, seeing a bit, duck, I'm off, and I just switch off, gone, like the wind. But then there's also if I feel like I'm being smothered, or like, I think part of being a fearful avoidant is you've learned to be a lone wolf. And I think I've learnt to be a lone wolf where it's safe. I'm in a safe bubble. I've learned to rely on me and me only, and letting someone in that bubble, or they might burst it. They might burst this bubble, and I don't want them to, because that's my only safety in life, is my bubble that I've created for myself. So anyone comes to threaten that, we're going to have an issue, and I will pull away. And more times than not, when you pull away like I would in a relationship, for the other person, now this is going to spin their head, because days before, maybe even a day before, I was all, wow, she's ace, and she's thinking, okay, how is the bee's knees? He's great. Of course she is. Well, it could be all sunshine and roses, and literally like a switch, and I can't help it. I have no control over this switch. The switch switches on and off as and when it fucking feels like it, and it is brutal. And hang on, no, back to the video. I had a notification on my phone. Don't worry about it. So, like a switch, it really is, and I'll just go cold. My brain's like, nope, fuck this shit, we're out, and all my feelings just gone in an instant. Now that's going to be very disorientating for whoever I'm with, especially when I've been building them up days before, weeks before, or whatever, where they think, oh, he really likes me, he does, and he's just so, whatever it is they think of me, I don't know, I'm trying not to toot my own horn. So it's very disorientating for them, very confusing, And any of my exes that might be watching this, I am sorry. You didn't deserve that. You deserve better. And yeah, if it's any consolation, I don't feel good about it. And I'm finally getting some work done about it. I'm working on it now. So I brought it up with a therapist, and she was like, yeah, she didn't do that. Well, we're not getting to that conversation anyway. But we're on it anyway. We're going to do some deep work on it, figure it out, because I don't want to die alone. But then part of me does. It's like, fuck this shit. It's kind of like, I'd say the anxious attachment style is like, there's something wrong with me. I could be wrong here, and I think the avoidance, the dismissive avoidance, is like there's something wrong with everybody else. Whereas my type, the FAs, we think there's something wrong with us, but there's something wrong with every fucker else as well. It's like, fucking hell. So a part of me does just want to, it's shit. So if you're dealing with this, I dare say it feels very fucking lonely. I know it does. So if you are an FA, and if any of the things I'm saying right now are making sense to you, then you got this. Yeah, you can change it. This is not set in stone. It's going to take a lot of work, and I know that. And I've got a lot of work ahead of me, but you can do it. You can have that relationship that you wanted. Yeah, that you've always sort of craved. You can get it. You can have it. It's not that far out of reach. It'll take some graft, but you can do it. And I know you felt very lonely all your life, and you felt like you've had no one to rely on but yourself. And get back to the whole lone wolf situation. I know. But you got this. You're stronger than you think, yeah? I know it feels like the world's against you sometimes, but that's just how it's a distorted lens you're looking at, yeah? And it's childhood. Shit happens to us all, yeah? Some part of childhood sort of did it to you. And don't go blaming your parents either, because chances are something in their childhood did something similar to them, yeah? And I'm sure, I know for my parents did the best they could. And I'm super proud of them both. Love them both massively, yeah? They are. I wouldn't want anyone else to be my dad when he's gone now. And I wouldn't want anyone else to be my mum either. You know what I mean? They're my mum and dad. So, and we're all flawed individuals. No one's perfect. There's no such thing. So, however my attachment come about, it's not on them. Yeah, it's so is what it is. My favourite saying: "It is what it is, Dilk." So anyway, and what I've found in figuring out that it's not dickhead syndrome, and it's I'm an FA, is straight away I had this realisation like, fucking hell, it's not just me. I've been with a few. I'm talking short-term little relationship, some on and off shit, which on and off, by the way, is fucking FAs to a T, which I'll explain in this video with these examples, right? And so I'll start with one. I had this one lady. I had a long relationship with her, years. We are talking years, and it was magic. And I will say as well, two fearful avoidants together, it is a roller coaster. It's magic, but it's heartbreaking as well. It's everything amazing, but it's everything fucking shit as well. There's sort of no in between. And it kind of feels like it's never over, and it never will be. Almost like your soulmates, do you know what I mean? Like, you're destined to fuck each other up forever. In a weird way. And it's kind of sweet in a way, because they've got the same pain as you. And I didn't know that at the time. Not a clue. I just thought it was me feeling that. Had I known, maybe things would have been different. I don't know. But what I do know is that it was fucking hard times. It was a lot of arguing, a lot of shouting, but a lot of making up as well, and a lot of missing each other, and just having to be in each other's lives. We just could not let go. So again, it was years on and off for years, and yeah, it was a fucking headache, but there were some beautiful moments there as well that kind of made it worth it. That's why we did it for fucking years, and we did do it for fucking years. So I'd been like, it was me doing the breaking up. I think her way was just being a bit of a pain. Like, if I'm an arse, he'll fuck off because I need him to fuck off. Whereas for me, it was, you're an arse, fuck off. Yeah. And it didn't take much to push me away, and I'd be like, I'm done. And I would be done. And in that very moment, I'd be like, I'm done, duck. See you in a fucking bit. And I really meant it. I'm not coming back. I am not coming back. I am done with you. And in that moment, I fucking meant it. But it didn't take long before I'd start missing her. And her not hearing from her, I'm thinking, fucking hell, she found somebody else. And then you just remember all the good things about her, and you think, you know, I fucked this right up. And I start really blaming myself, thinking, you've been a fucking piece of shit. You weren't very understanding with her needs or any of that. And then I'd be like, I'd have to text her. I'm like, how you doing? And I knew how to worm my way back. And then she'd be like, oh, he's back. And she'd be all excited as well, because she's had that time away from me, and now she's thinking, is he gone for good? And in a way, I think that's kind of a thing with us FAs, is that to really love them, you have to feel like you've lost them. And that sounds fucked up by now, but there's some truth in that, I think. And looking back, I think that's how I've operated. And so yeah, it wouldn't take long. Normally it would be a pattern of like 2 weeks. 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. Done with you, duck. Oh, actually, I miss you. Where the fuck are you going, duck? Come here, daddy ain't done with you, duck. Right, and then she'd be back. I'd blow her mind for a week. Then we'd have a rocky week, and then it'd be, fuck this, I'm out. 2 weeks go by, start missing her, I'm getting horny. The cycle repeated time and time and time again. And I remember the very last time I ended up writing her a poem. I know, check me out, eh? Like some Romeo fucking Shakespeare shit, yeah? I remember I wrote her this poem. I mean, I don't know it word for word, because I ain't fucking got it. She's got it. Or it probably in the fucking bin, to be fair. But I wrote her one anyway. And it was a moth to a flame. I think that's what it was called. Moth to the flame. Now, if you know a moth and a flame, what's going to happen? It's going to burn its fucking wings, isn't it? And I think it'll be very pleasant. And that's kind of what it was, being with her. So I was drawn to the flame. I was crazy about the flame, and it was right there. And I'd just get sucked straight in, and every time it burnt me. And I remember, I think the poem ended. Check me out with fucking poems, eh? Fucking hell. Won't catch me writing poems nowadays, but I think I think the end line was something like, "You need to take my choice away because I will choose 1,000 times to burn and burn and burn." It's pretty fucking good. That was pretty good. I think I probably worded it better in the poem, but that's pretty fucking good though, isn't it? So, and there's a lot of truth to that. Whereas every time I come back, tricking my mind as well, tricking myself, which I'll get to with somebody else as well. So, in fact, we'll get there shortly. We'll wrap this one up. But in the end, enough was enough, and I said, we can't keep doing this. It's not fair on either of us. We'll have to move on. And even moving on was difficult for us both. I know it was. And years later, there's still something there. It just never really went away. Not really. But I mean, we both grew up. And we both look at it and think, it would have been nice, but it wasn't meant to be. But that cycle could have gone forever. It really could have done. But yeah, I mean, even just dating women. I remember there's one lass who was, looking back, I think she was an FA as well. And I must have gone on 7 or 8 dates with her. Or 6 or 7, I don't know. I didn't even finger her, by the way, so not bad, eh? No, so we had like 6, 7 dates anyway, and she would bang on. Beautiful smile. Oh my god, in fact she was gorgeous. In fact all of them were. All 3 of these FAs that I'm going to sort of bring up, they were all gorgeous. Amazing smiles on all 3 of them. Fucking hell. I think there's something very special about them, where they kind of, you can see the pain in their eyes, behind their eyes, but there's determination in their eyes as well, and there's a big heart, and it's battered and bruised, it's black and blue, but it's still beating despite all the fucking bullshit heartache, right? And it still beats. So anyway, I was seeing this other lass anyway, and she was wonderful, and it was going really well. And it was the first time in a while I was like, fucking hell, I found somebody I actually fucking like, that I actually want to see. Now that was a revelation for me, because it was like, before then it was like, I just put things in, I'd be like, no, because of this, no, because I was like chasing some bird that don't even fucking exist. Which is probably part of the avoidance. Like, if I'm looking for somebody that don't exist, I'm going to stay in that fucking perfect bubble, aren't I? Yeah. So, yeah, and in the end, I'd say I pushed it a bit. I did. Because it was around the time when shit went south and I had me fucking, when I hit rock bottom. I was only just coming out of that when I met her, and I wasn't fully out of it, so I wasn't at my best by a mile. And I think, I won't say I was needy, but I was pushing a bit more than before, whereas she was coming to me. I always sort of, she'd be there, and I'd kind of just meet her here, and just kind of, and it was going very well like that. And then I just felt down, and then all of a sudden I was like, I didn't need her, but, I really wanted her. It scared her off, big time. But how did I respond? So she says, she's not long out of a relationship herself, really. And, I mean, that's why I both sort of played it. It took our time anyway, which was the right thing to do for an FA anyway, but we'll get to that. So, and me being me, she was like, oh, the ex is kind of in the picture, I don't know where my head's at. And I was like, you do you, don't worry about it. I had a lovely time, I think you're great, best of luck. Boom, done, left it there. I'm gone, see you in a bit. And quickly I noticed her vibe changed, and she was like, oh, fuck. And You know, it'd be an excuse just to text each other once in a while. Merry Christmas. I hope you're keeping well. Because we did 7 or 8 dates, but we shared a moment where it was like we did have a connection. We didn't go nowhere. Well, that's fine. But there was still something there. So I sensed that with her. But then in recent years, I've had one. Oh my god. Now, I get it. I get it, guys. For anyone that's gone through a breakup with an FA or a relationship with them where you don't know what the fucking planet they're on or what planet you're on because they send you fucking wappy, I get it, guys. And call it karma, call it what you will. Now, it was karma, to be fair. It was beautiful karma at its best, and I deserved every fucking thing I got. So for about 7, 8 months, I was seeing this lady, beautiful lady, and I was scared. I've been in a relationship with a narcissist. That was fucking fun. And then I got with somebody else who, I think I've even mentioned that she might have been a narcissist or something. But looking back now, maybe not. Maybe, probably not. In fact, I know she's not. I think it was a new fucking panic button. It was, oh, fucking narcissist, get me out of here. I don't think she was. And yeah, so I start seeing this lady, and she's very keen. Now I look at her, she's fucking red hot. I'm talking smoking piece of ass, a fine piece of ass, and big time. And she was very keen, very, very keen on me. Oh, was she? We matched on Tinder or something like that. We started talking, and we were going to go for a walk on a Tuesday. I don't know. And fucking hell, I'm doing some rambling. Sorry, guys. Interesting story though, so stick with me. Anyway, so we're going to go for a walk, and then I looked at the weather and it gave rain. I thought, oh, that's going to be a bit shit. And me being the dickhead I am, I said, oh, it gives rained up. Maybe we should rearrange because I don't want to get you wet on the first date. Wouldn't be much of a gentleman now, would it? Now, alarm bells went for her. She went, this guy's a prick. She disappeared, right? And rightly so. Why am I bringing that sort of thing up? But in my head, it was just, that's just me. A window for a joke. I'm going to make the joke. I wasn't trying to be sexual with her. I just wanted to make myself laugh. And I did. So, she disappeared. And I didn't chase her. I didn't do fuck all. I went around and seen a bit. She didn't message me back. I thought, got enough on my plate anyway, don't see in a bit. So she disappeared. But then she walked past where I was doing a driveway. And it was the first time she seen me in person. So she seen me pictures. And she was like, fuck it, you know. I was looking good. Obviously I had the guns out and I was lifting blocks and that. And she just like made a point to come back as well so she could talk to me some more. And I thought, she's going to text me. That same night, hey, well, yeah, alright, joke. Well, and as I got to know her, she was very, very keen. So I'm thinking, fucking narcissist. She must be, because she's red hot. She seems dead sweet. She's been very lovely to me. Too good to be true. She's a fucking narcissist. And it was there in my head all the time, so I kept her like that. I like that the whole time. And she was like, give me love. And she was chasing me. I'm like, well, guffed up. And to be fair, I was not very nice to her at all. She fucking hit rock bottom. And I wasn't there for her. I said, talk to your friends. And I look back and I think, you fucking prick. You fucking arsehole that you did that to her. She really needed you. And you treated her like shit. And that was fucking brutal. It was hard doing it as well. But part of me thought, she's a fucking narcissist. This is a game. She's playing a fucking game with me. She's trying to get that knight in shining armour out of me, and how that would work a fucking treat on me. That's how I saw it, yeah. But in reality, there was somebody in pain, and I just ignored her. And kind of made her feel like fuck all. I was a prick, big time. And yeah, it was not a high point in my life at all. So anyway, it went on for months and months, 7 or 8 months of go around once a week, get what I needed, that sort of intimacy at arm's length. So I was still getting a taste of what I really desire, but I wasn't disrupting that bubble. I wasn't. And then she'd be blowing up my phone, like trying to ring me, face call me a lot. And I'm like, fuck it, I ignore that. Can't be honest with that. And she needed that reassurance. She really did. And I didn't give her. So she was still chasing me. And then every now and then she'd be like, I've had enough of your bullshit. And I'm like, see you in a couple of weeks, Duke. And it'd be either me, I'd be able to worm my way back, knew what to say. And she'd be like, oh, he's going to change this time. Or she'd be like, why can't you love me? Oh, why can't you? You know. And I'm not saying that to take the piss out of it, because rightly so, I was a fucking arsehole. And she said, like, after all this time, you're still not attached to me. That's not good. And at the time, I'm thinking, well, I think you're a fucking narcissist, Duke. And then kind of just stopped, and I think she gave up. And it weren't until she gave up when I thought I'd fucking lost her. I look back now and see it that way, where I thought, hang on a fucking minute. I come round, she had the biggest smile on her face to see me. She was so excited to see me. It was like a kid at Christmas. And I thought, what a fucking sweetheart. So sweet she was. Absolutely lovely. Gorgeous as well. And she never asked for anything. Never asked for fuck. Just a bit more attention. A bit more time. I gave her once a week. And that was as much as I was willing to give her. Why? Well, I know why. It's because I'm fucking scared. I was scared. And yeah, so in the end, I was like, she ain't no narcissist. She's a sweetheart. I need to fix this. So I tried. And I was trying to be that boyfriend she was wanting. And at the time, she was like, no, it's too little too late. I can't do this anymore. And I was like, don't blame you. But she wanted to stay friends, which is another thing with FAs that, again, if we're just friends, she gets that bit of intimacy from me and the company and all these wonderful things, but it's not disrupting her bubble. It's not going to impact her need for independence and to just make it on her own, where it's safe. So I can look back now and think, fucking hell, that makes sense. So I was like, I'm not being anyone's friend. But I was like, go on then, Duke, we'll try the friendship thing. In my head, it was like, we'll see, Duke. Challenge accepted. I'm going to get in the knickers. And, yeah, well, she was adamant. She'd cuddle me all the time. We'd have a lovely cuddle. And I'd try and push it. No, Duke. Not having any of it. Not at all. And in the end, I turned around to her and I said, look, it's alright being friends, but I want to jump on you. It's not going to work, is it? It's not going to be a very authentic friendship, because I'm always going to have an ulterior motive. I want to make you smile when getting in your knickers. Not good, is it? So I said, I hope you understand I can't be friends because I fancy you. Yeah, I can't have female friends that I want to jump on. And she says, I do understand. And she says, I hope you understand I can't give you another chance. And I said, considering you give me about 100, I think we're alright, don't worry about it. Sure enough, she started missing me, didn't she? And then she ended up with a rebound relationship as well, shortly after that. And then months later, I call it boomerang, she comes boomeranging back. Seen her outside Asda in this sexy dress, looking mighty fine. Oh my fucking god. I dry humped her in the middle of the fucking car park. Fucking old granny walking past. I'm like, ooh. I couldn't help myself. I could not help myself. And she weren't stopping me either. I will add. So there's definitely a magnetic attraction there with me in these FAs. There's definitely some magnetism going on there. And same with the other ones. It's there. So, and then we sort of hit it off a bit again. And I was going through a dark time for a little bit. And she come at that moment where it was kind of a good thing as well that she came, but kind of a bad thing as well, because it started off well, it was a good distraction while I was going through the shit. But then it was a fucking mind fuck, because basically it's like we can't digest intimacy. We crave it, but we can't. It's like cake. You love cake, but you're allergic to it. And every once in a while I think, fuck it. You eat the cake and you spew your fucking guts up, right? Every time we had this magic moment, and we'd had a few in this brief spell, it was a brief spell, and a couple of months, if that, we'd have a beautiful moment, and then she'd just pull away, she was gone. And I'm like, where the fuck's she gone? Hang on, Dilk. And then push her away some more. So then I'd like give her the space, and oh, she's back again. Boomerang back again. And one time, I mean, it's just out of the blue. We had a great night, and then next day she was quiet. Day after, I can't be with you. I'm like, oh, I really want to give that a go, because I wanted to redeem myself for being the prick that I was to her. I wanted her to know what it felt like to feel special, because I think she is special. And I still think she's special. They're all special. No, but on a serious note, yeah, I did. I wanted her to feel good, and I wanted to make up for the shit I put her through. That was the plan. But she was having none of it. She was like, I can't be with you. 3 days after she split up with me, text me, where are you? I'm at fucking work, Doc. Whereabouts you working? And me being me, I said, why? Are you going to come give me an hand? She went, yeah, can do. She turned up where I was working, and she shoveled for me for about 4 hours. Free of charge. Free labour. It was beautiful. We had a great laugh as well. It was a great day. It really was. But what's funny is 3 days before, she didn't want to fucking know me again. And then we had a beautiful night not long after that, which I won't be forgetting. Not in a hurry. And alright, she went again. I was like, oh, see you in a bit then, no. And now I totally understand it. I'm like, fucking hell, been there, Duck. I've done it to you. So it was my karma. Fucking hell, this video. Gee, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I've got some rattle on me, Anna. But yeah, what I was saying was, it was my karma. I deserved everything I got, and I felt shit. I felt disorientated, dizzy as fuck, spun my head, and just like, she fucking adored me yesterday. Now she thinks I'm the biggest prick on the planet. What the fuck? And honestly, I'm like, oh, mind blowing. It was crazy, and I think you've done that plenty, King D. And I have. I had done it to her. So I got what was coming to me. Big time. So if she happens to catch this video, which I don't think she will, but if she did, then I got what I deserved, Duke. Good for you. And I hope you're happy. I mean that. I really do. Shame we didn't work, but all the best. So yeah, since finding out about this fearful avoidant stuff, I look back at these people I mentioned to you and think, fucking hell. Now it is the rarest of the attachment styles, and it is the most awkward as well, which is fucking typical, eh? More likely to be depressed with it and have other mental health issues, which also explains a lot. But hey, it is what it is. So anyway, guys, that was a lot of me fucking rambling. I do apologise. But if you're an FA yourself, I hope this video helped. I'm sure it fucking will. Get yourself a therapist. I'm working on my shit with mine now. I've been dodging this for a long time, but it's been a long time coming as well, where it's about time I did something, because I don't want to die alone, and I don't want to break anyone's heart again either. It's fucking horrible, and I can't help it. Cannot help it, but I can get help, which is what I'm going to do. So if you're an FA yourself, go get some help. Speak to a therapist, yeah? They'll put you in the right direction where you can get out of these situations. And I will say, when that switch flips, I think the best way, from what because I've been thinking about this a few days, right? So I think if you're dealing with an FA, or you are an FA, communication is key. When you need reassurance, or when you need space, whichever, let it be heard. Make sure the person's understanding as well, and that they can understand you. And it's not going to be easy for that person. It's not going to be easy for yourself either. But hey ho, it can be worth it though, because us FAs, I know, we love very deeply. I know, yeah. There's no wonder, the connections I've had with the ones that I've known it's why there's a connection there. Yeah, because there's just something very special, something very, very special. It just can't be maintained without help and guidance, so get the help. And another thing as well is just have a word with yourself when that switch flips and something triggers it. Just understand, right, well, I'm doing that thing again now. Right, she ain't what my brain's telling me all of a sudden, that she's this bad person that I can't be with. Or again, me breaking hearts, do you know what I mean? I'm not going to break her heart, because I'm growing, I'm learning, and I'm going to break this cycle as well, yeah? So just having that word with yourself as well. Trying to put a label on it as well, for as long as you can. Just tiny steps, tiny baby steps, yeah? And as long as you're still in communication with the person, theoretically, you stand a much better chance anyway. Otherwise, you're going to repeat the same cycle with every fucking person you get with. Okay? I can see I'd have done it with all of mine. If it wasn't pure fucking willpower to let them go, or something in the way, like a rebound or whatever, or running for the fucking hills to the point where you can't find them again, which has happened for me as well. And she still thinks I live in Scotland, so, well, I'm hoping so anyway. I am in Scotland. Look at that. Just in case, you never know. If this blows up and she finds me, fucking hell, that's gonna be a drama, isn't it? But enough about her. No, she's not an FA either. She's the narcissist. Right, guys, I'm 46 fucking minutes. Jesus, 45 minutes. Guys, we're wrapping it up. Like the video if you got that fucking far. Fucking hell. Drop us a comment if you are an FA. Let's say if you want to. That's fine. Subscribe if you haven't already. I do appreciate you guys very much, and be the best you, and do it for you. Cheers.